Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. I got a comment last week that was like, bro, please get rid of the mustache. So, we had to wake up this morning, we had to shave, we had to get it all taken care of. So, hopefully that one guy out there, hopefully he's watching, hopefully he does appreciate it. You got to give the people what they want. And yeah, hopefully that at least earns one like on this video from that man. I don't even remember who it was, but I just remember I was at work checking my phone. I was like, oh, okay. And it was just funny. But anyway, today we are back on Rekkles Watch once again. He is, at least that we know of now, potentially one of the biggest, if not the biggest Western player on the market for the 2022 offseason. Obviously, he is not a free agent, but it does seem like at the least he will be available, at the least Carlos and G2 will be listening to offers for him. They will be taking offers from all over the place. I know we've talked about a couple different teams already, but today I wanted to throw another team's hat into the ring. I wanted to talk a little bit about Team Liquid. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate it so much. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. What are we at right now? 8,076 subscribers. So hey, almost 8,100. Again, we're trying to get to 10,000 by December 31st, 2021, end of the year. That would be absolutely awesome. And consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm, if you want to get the VODs for my weekly podcast. With that being said, let's get right into it. So, we've talked about a couple different options. I think all the options we're talking about are realistic. I know I get comments sometimes that are like, there's no way this is ever going to happen. Shut up. Why would you even say this? Why would you even make this video? Blah, 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 blah. But I don't do that. It's not like I'm making Rekkles to Dignitas videos or Rekkles to Astralis videos or something like that. We've talked about TSM, who I think there's a very, very clear case, and I think it's at least easy to see why Carlos would be interested in selling him to TSM, why Rekkles would be interested in TSM, and why TSM would be interested in Rekkles. We talked about Ninjas in Pajamas, and again, that's another team who, however unlikely or likely we think it is, I think it's at least possible, and I think there's a very, very good case to be made why all the parties involved would want to get that done. I think there's a very, very good case to be made that Rekkles stays on G2. Now, I don't know. Again, from what we're hearing, that is seeming less and less likely. It seems like he will be on the move, at least as the most likely outcome. And today, again, I wanted to talk about Team Liquid because I think they're a team flying under the radar right now that I think more people probably should be talking about. This isn't necessarily a rumor I've heard of. I know when I've talked to some people, they say, watch out for TL or TL is definitely going to at least talk to G2. I don't know how, engaging those talks or anything have been or are going to be. It's just tough because obviously Team Liquid is preparing for Worlds right now. Team Liquid is preparing to compete. Their season is not over. They are not G2. They are not TSM. They are not NIP. They are actually going to Worlds. But I think especially whenever Team Liquid gets knocked out of Worlds, I think these Rekkles conversations will start heating up. I think TL and G2 absolutely will be talking. So there's a couple things that you need to understand first with Team Liquid is that this is all under the assumption that CoreJJ gets his green card in this offseason, that he becomes a North American resident. All signs are kind of pointing towards that. Again, you don't ever really know, but that is the rumor going around. That is the talk behind the scenes that TL and CoreJJ both expect that he will be getting his green card. Obviously, this is also under the assumption that I think Alfari will be back with Team Liquid next year. There was obviously a lot of turmoil, a lot of controversy. I personally, and from who I've talked to and what I've heard, I've actually talked to some very, very reliable sources about this. It does seem like the issue was between Alfari and Jat. There was definitely some issues between Alfari and Team Liquid, but it seems like Steve and TL were very, very proactive in saving that relationship. So in this world, TL's two imports would be Alfari and CoreJJ for next year. But again, if CoreJJ gets his green card, that leaves us with just Alfari, and that leaves TL with an import slot open. Now, they just signed Jensen to a 3-year deal last offseason, so I would assume that, he is in their future plans. He's also a resident mid laner. However good or bad you think Jensen is, it would be tough to upgrade from him too much, as it would be very, very expensive. I assume Jensen will be the TL mid laner for the foreseeable future. So that leaves us with two spots. We have Santorin and we have Tactical. Now, Santorin, I think he's been good this year. I think he's been good the last couple of years, but obviously these health issues keep popping up. Who knows what's going to happen there? But, Santorin played really, really well down the stretch for TL. He had a really, really good playoffs. He didn't do so good in the finals, but that was just one series. I think a lot of Santorin's future is going to be based upon how well he's able to perform at Worlds. But again, I think it's pretty likely that Santorin will be coming back to TL at this point. There's not a lot of great junglers around the world to be looking to import at this point in time. Not a lot of great junglers who are going to be available. So this whole video, this whole Rekkles to TL conversation is made under the impression that they will have an import slot open and that they're going to be bringing everybody back except potentially AD Carry. Now, Tactical is okay. You know, he's good. I'm not saying Tactical is bad. I'm not saying he's, you know, not good. He's one of the better AD Carries in North America. And as a resident, that is very, very impressive. And that is very, very valuable to the team. But again, if they are having an import slot open, we know that TL and Steve have all this money. We know they are one of the big spending organizations. I think potentially it could make sense to go out and get a Rekkles. Now, there is going to be a lot of talks about wanting to pair Corey JJ up with, you know, a Korean AD carry, something like that. They could definitely look to Korea. Again, they'll have a couple of options there, but who knows how easy or difficult it'll be to talk a Korean AD carry, a top-level Korean AD carry into coming over to North America and coming over to Team Liquid. Obviously, I'm sure Corey JJ helps that out a ton, but who knows? I mean, that is definitely a possibility, but it might not work out. But having the Rekkles option there, I definitely think Rekkles would be an upgrade over Tactical. I definitely think Rekkles is a huge, massive brand that would help spread the popularity of Team Liquid, not only in North America, but internationally as well, which is a very, very big deal. Obviously, Team Liquid is a business at the end of the day. They would love to continue to kind of like spread their brand and get more fans and all of that. I think it would make their team more competitive. This is a guy with a ton of international experience. That's been TL's thing. They've never made it out of groups at Worlds, and Rekkles has made it out of groups at Worlds. He's made it to a world final. He's had, you know, a lot of success internationally, even though, you know, he maybe didn't have the best year this year. Last year, he had a very, very good year with Fnatic and did very, very well at Worlds. And I think Rekkles and Corey JJ together would be an absolutely disgusting bot lane. It would allow Corey JJ to really roam around the map as much as he wants to make a ton of plays. And Rekkles, you know, is going to be that rock in the bot lane that's going to be able to play 2v1 and play smart and play safe. It would make Team Liquid have so many options. I think it would make them a really, really nasty team. Also, just thinking about the fact that right now, Team Liquid has 4 imports, with, you know, Tactical being the only North American player. We know that Steve and all the top North American owners have been pushing more and more for the import rule to be removed. And, you know, it's for a reason. They want to go get more high-level imports. Now, obviously, Rekkles is not the only high-level import out there, but we know that Rekkles and Team Liquid and Steve are going to be looking to import more and more and more. And if Rekkles is out there, if he is an option, if he is on the market, I think it would make a ton of sense. And we also know that Rekkles wants to have international success, wants to win. He is a winner. And at the end of the day, I think Team Liquid with Rekkles would be a much better team than TSM with Rekkles. So I think it could really work out for all parties. G2 gets a bunch of money. G2 ships Rekkles out of Europe so they don't have to play against him. Rekkles gets to go to a top-level team in North America, and Team Liquid gets an upgrade at AD Carry. And I think it would really, really be great. Also, again, I do think that is a big thing to keep in mind with all of G2's players, is that Carlos is incentivized to want to ship these guys to low-level European teams and to North America or China or whatever to not have to play against them, to not be competing against them for titles, for world spots and all that stuff. So I think with all of G2's players, we have to really heavily consider all the North American options. And again, that's kind of where I'm getting at with this Rekkles to Team Liquid point. I think it would be very interesting. I am starting to hear some rumors rolling around, not as much as like TSM or anything like that, but I definitely think in the next coming months, you're going to start to hear more and more about Team Liquid and Rekkles, at least talking, at least, you know, feeling it out, seeing what's there. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Rekkles to Team Liquid would be a good move? Do you think they should go somewhere else? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!